Everything looks calm, and you might think the little cat curled up in that bucket is just cute. People pass by every day, smiling, never suspecting the truth. But one person stopped and looked closer, and what they found was shocking. Something no one expected. Something that would break hearts and change everything. This is the story of a quiet street, a trapped cat, and a rescue that nobody saw coming. The story begins on a quiet street in Houston, Texas. In the corner, inside an old metal bucket, sat a little cat. No one paid much attention. People walked by every day, thinking it was just another street cat. Some smiled when they saw its soft fur and blue eyes. It looked calm, like it had chosen the bucket as its favorite place to nap. But something was not right. At first, nothing seemed strange. Cats like tight spaces, and this one had its head and front paws out, the rest of its body hidden deep in the bucket. Most people thought it was just resting, but if anyone had looked closely, they would have noticed the truth. Its eyes were not sleepy. They were scared. They were asking for help. Day after day, the cat didn't move. Rain came. The sun burned. Yet it stayed in that same spot. People started to wonder, why doesn't it leave? Why is it always there? Then someone finally stopped to check. What they saw made their stomachs turn. The cat was not resting at all. It was trapped, caught in something very bad. Inside the bucket was thick, black roof tar. It had dried and become hard like stone. The poor cat was stuck fast, glued by the sticky, solid mess. It didn't choose to stay there. It couldn't move or get out. This made everyone stop. For days, people thought the cat looked cute and calm. But the truth was painful. Everyone felt sad and guilty because they saw the cat but didn't know how to help. No one knew how this happened. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe someone was mean. Either way, the cat was in big trouble. The tar had set so hard that it was almost impossible to break without hurting the cat. Roof tar is made to hold buildings strong, not to be cleaned off easily. People tried to pull the cat free with care. But it didn't move at all. The cat cried out, hurting and scared. That's when everyone understood this was not a job for just anyone. They needed help from people who knew how to save animals. One of the people from the crowd called an animal shelter called Friends for Life. This was not just any shelter. It was a no-kill shelter that never gave up on animals, no matter how sick, old, or hurt they were. Now this shelter was the cat's only hope. Everyone believed they could find a way to help. The shelter team came fast and ready. Even with all their experience, they had never seen anything like this before. The tar had done more than trap the cat. It burned its skin, twisted its body, and maybe even reached the bones. Taking the cat out would be very dangerous. They couldn't just pull it out because that could hurt the cat more. So, they started working slowly and carefully, hoping to save the little cat without causing more pain. First, they tried to soften the tar using a mix of vegetable oil and mineral oil. The oils helped a little, but it wasn't enough to free the cat. So, they moved on to the next step, cutting the bucket. Using special tools, they carefully sliced through the metal, making sure not to touch the cat's skin. Every move had to be slow and careful. The cat watched them the whole time with its big blue eyes. It didn't hiss or scratch. Even though it was in pain, the cat stayed calm. It seemed to understand that these people were there to help. It trusted them. After a long, careful effort, the cat was finally free from the bucket. But the hard work was not over yet. When the cat was out, the full damage was clear. Its fur was tangled and stuck, and in some places the fur had burned away. The skin underneath was red, raw, and hurt badly. The tar caused chemical burns. On top of that, the cat had a broken leg and a fractured pelvis. This was likely from struggling to get free on its own. One leg was too badly hurt to save. It had to be taken off. The surgery was tough. Everyone held their breath. People passing by the street were quietly hoping and praying for the cat. Finally, the cat survived. He made it through. That brave little cat had fought through something terrible, and now he had a second chance. The team gave him a name: Anthony. It was a strong name for a fighter like him. The road to recovery wasn't easy. Anthony still had patches of tar stuck to his fur and skin. Every day, the team gently washed him with warm water and soft soap. They treated his burns carefully and gave him medicine to ease the pain. He had to stay in a cage to rest so his broken pelvis could heal. He wore a special collar to stop him from licking his wounds. Anthony stayed with the team for months. Day by day, he got stronger. His wounds slowly healed, and his energy returned. Even though he was in pain, Anthony never bit or scratched. He stayed calm, like he knew these people were there to help him. Most animals in pain react in ways people expect. They pull away or growl to protect themselves. But Anthony was different. Even when the vets cleaned his burns or changed his bandages, he stayed calm. The shelter staff couldn't believe how gentle and trusting he was. As time went on, Anthony learned to live with 3 legs. At first, he wobbled and struggled to balance, but soon he was running around, climbing furniture, and playing just like any other cat. He had survived something terrible, and now he was enjoying life again. The shelter director said Anthony's rescue was one of the hardest they had ever done. There was no instruction book for saving a cat stuck in roof tar. The team had to figure everything out, step by step. They tried many ideas, always hoping to save Anthony. Giving up was never an option. After Anthony healed, the biggest question was, who would want to adopt a cat with 3 legs? No one knew where Anthony came from. Maybe he was a stray, or maybe someone had left him behind. Either way, he needed a loving home. But would anyone give a cat with 3 legs a chance? For the Friends for Life shelter, the answer was simple. Anthony was worth it. They found a foster family who gave him love and care while waiting for the right person to adopt him. Then something wonderful happened. A kind couple heard Anthony's story and wanted to give him a home. To them, Anthony wasn't just a cat. He was a symbol of hope, courage, and survival. Anthony moved into his new home, surrounded by love, soft beds, toys, and people who adored him exactly as he was. His journey from a metal bucket to a warm home was long and hard. But Anthony showed everyone that even in dark times, hope shines bright. His quiet strength and gentle heart touched the lives of everyone who met him. Now, every time he naps in a sunny window or plays with his toys, Anthony reminds us all that every life matters, and every life deserves a second chance.